ओम नमो भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय.
ओम नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय.
Okay, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, verse. Which verse were we last week?
1.8, I think.
Okay, correct. 1.8. So we'll read the verse again and we'll continue discussing on that. Please repeat after me. You have the link with you, or do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, either ways would be good, Prabhuji.
I have also shared, link in the group chat.
Okay, so if you can open that. And if you have a book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, you can use that also. Otherwise, you can use the link which is provided by Kalpesh. Please repeat after me. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Krupascha Samitinjayah
Kripascha Samitinjayah
Ashwathama Vikarnascha
Ashwatthama Vikarnascha
Somadattistatheva cha
Somadatti
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Krupascha Samitinjayah
Kripascha
Samitinjaya
Ashwathama Vikarnascha
Ashwathama Vikarnascha
Somadattistatheva cha
Somadattistathaiva cha
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Bhavan
Bhishmascha
Bhishmascha
Karnascha
Krupascha Samitinjayah
Kripascha Samitinjaya
Jaya
Ashwathama Vikarnascha
Ashwathama Vikarnascha
Somadattistatheva cha
Somadattistathaiva cha.
There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. So we'll read the purport. It's very small. We'll read that. Duryodhan mentions the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhan. Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya. And Somadatti or Bhurishrava, Saumadatta or Bhurishrava is the son of the king of Bahalikas. Karna is the half brother of Arjun, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya. So this verse explains the relationships and a few warriors in the war on the Kaurava side. Yes, so Duryodhan is explaining all the warriors from his own end now. So where are the warriors like Karna? Karna is whose side?
Kauravas.
Kauravas. And how did Karna come to Kaurava's side? We discussed this last week.
He was a friend of Duryodhana.
He's a friend of Duryodhana.
How did he become the friend of Duryodhana?
Because
They used to study together.
Sorry?
They were studying together. They had the same guru.
Okay. Did they have a same guru?
No.
Okay.
Can I speak?
Now
Prabhuji?
slowly and slowly I see everyone disappearing. The ones who are there also, they also gone. I wonder why. Really. Either you want to take a break. We're only there for 1 hour. So you can keep your video on. You'll be off after 1 hour. So please be online. Please be a little active, and we can discuss things together. And we can switch off later.
So in the last video, you told us that Duryodhana got impressed by Karna when they were displaying their skills.
Okay. So when was that?
So in the last video, in the last
Yes, I mean, no. I mean, when was that happened? When
Yeah,
Duryodhana
I
and
thought-
Karna?
I
They
thought
were
they were,
graduating.
yeah. So they had
Yes.
the same guru, no?
No.
No,
They
no.
didn't have the same guru. Actually, Duryodhan wanted to take the advantage of the skill of Karan, so that's why he made the Karan his friend because Karan was very good in his
Okay.
Dhanush.
Okay. Do you want me to go through that thing again quickly?
So just
Sir,
a
if I
question.
may?
Yeah. So why were they doing the lesson together? They were showing their skills together. If they had not the same guru.
So it seems I'm getting mixed answers. So I'll just go through the whole prasanga again, just so that everyone revises. Yes, Ramdir, you want to say something?
Sir, as far as I'm just refreshing my memory as to what was brought up with you. I might be wrong, but the Pandavas and the Kauravas, all of them had come out of they were demonstrating what they had actually learned. And at that point of time, Karan came in and he tried to challenge, I guess, Arjun at that point of time, saying
Okay.
this is one of, and Bhishma, or no, either Bhishma or the teacher, I think it was Bhishma who said that, well, you're not of noble birth, so you cannot go ahead and
Okay.
challenge.
What I will do, I'll go through the whole pastime so that it is clearer to the new people also. I think there are a few who are from our last, who have already done chapter 1. So because they know a bit of a background, that's why they're able to say that. So I'll go through the whole pastime one more time so that everyone is clear. How did Karna and Duryodhan became friends? So this was the first time when they had met was the time when Pandavas and the Kauravas, basically they were Kuru dynasty, all the princes of the Kuru dynasty had completed their graduation under the teachings from the teachings of Dronacharya. So they were going to the Gurukul of Dronacharya, and they had finished their education and their martial arts, and they had been asked to show as to what they have learned. So they came back to Hastinapur from the Gurukul, and they were displaying all their skills. So Bhima displayed his skills, Yudhishthira displayed his skills, Duryodhan displayed his skills. So they had different weapons. They were expert. They had an expertise in various weapons. So Arjun was the best among all of them, showing the excellence in his martial arts. He was basically an archer, but he had the skills for all the variety of different astras, which were not just one-to-one kind of a thing, but they were also connected with the different wind and fire and rains, all sorts of weapons. So he had mastery in many sorts of weapons, which he had learned from Dronacharya. So he displayed his expertise in martial arts. And once that was finished, they concluded that they were about to conclude that we have some wonderful, and it was just a display. There was no competition as such as to who is first or second or anything of that sort. It was only a display or a kind of gathering as to see how the students are doing after their education. So at that point, Karna just dropped in as an uninvited guest after it was said that by Kripacharya and Dronacharya that Arjun is one of the best, or he's the top archer in this world. They did not rank anyone as such, but it was a statement given by his teacher, by his guru, and Kripacharya was the Kulu Guru was also Guru of the Hastinapur. So when Karna came into that exhibition, basically it was an exhibition. he came in. He said that I would like to display my skills, my expertise in archery. Am I allowed to do that? So Bhishma, spoke to Kripacharya, and they agreed that yes, you can show your, skills. And he showed equal skills as Arjun. So he said, he stated after showing all his skills that I'm not less than Arjun. I'm like, and looking at that, Duryodhan was very happy. Because Duryodhan always thought this, right from his birth, that eventually there will be a fight between him and the Pandavas. He always had this in mind. And he always thought him to be a competitor for Bhima. So he said, I will be able to equal Bhim. But he could not find anyone who could be fighting against Arjun. As soon as he saw Karna, this thing came to his mind, that he can be on equals with Arjun. And just after Karna shows his skills, he asked Bhishma and Kripacharya that, can I have 1-to-1 fight with Arjun? And to that, they replied, Kripacharya replied, that this is not a competition, although if you wish to, you need to tell your credentials first in terms of who are you. You have to identify yourself. You haven't identified yourself so far. And on that question, Karna's head went down because he couldn't identify himself as Kshatriya. Kripacharya and Bhishma said, Arjun is son of Pandu, who was the king of Hastinapur. So he's a prince and he's from a Kshatriya family. What are your credentials? So Karna couldn't identify himself. And on that, Duryodhan got up and he said, there is no reason to ask that question. He has proven himself as a Kshatriya. And when it was required, or it was required for his own benefit, Duryodhan would also quote Shastras. He will reference from the Shastras. Otherwise, he will not believe in Shastras or in Dharma. But when it comes for his own benefit, he will quote the Shastras. He said the Shastras say that the Varna comes by the nature of a person. I can see that he's Kshatriya, not by birth. Although on his side, he was doing too many things in terms of he would manipulate a lot of things based on his own understanding of Shastras. But at this point, he came up with the argument that, he looks like a Kshatriya, he acts like a Kshatriya. So his Varna cannot be doubted. And if at all it is being doubted, I will make him the king of Angadesha. So Anga was a part of the kingdom which was under Dhritarashtra. Of course, Pandu, Dhritarashtra was just a caretaker. Although that Angadesh was belonging to the kingdom, not to Duryodhan. But even then, temporarily, being a temporary owner of that, he gave that to Karna. And at that moment in the exhibition, at the place of exhibition, he did Rajyabhishek of Karna. And he made him the king of Anga. And then they started fighting each other. So after he made him the king of Angadesha, Karna and Arjun started fighting 1-to-1 because that condition was gone off. And while they were starting to fight, it was sunset. And at that time, Bhishma blew the conch shell and said, now the exhibition and the whole celebration time is over and the event comes to an end. So they couldn't fight at that time. So Karna was eager to fight to Arjun at that time. And many people think that Karna was a better warrior than Arjun. But how far it is true that Karna was a better warrior than Arjun, I'll go around and ask everyone, because we have discussed this last week, that how these two came in front of each other and who was better than who. So we'll start with Vikas. Yes, Vikas, if I could see you and you can tell me, when was the first time Arjun and Karna fought with each other?
Sorry, I'm not aware.
Okay. We'll move to Naisha. Naisha, if I could, hear from you, when was the first time Karna and Arjun fought with each other?
With each other. Okay, so there was a Virat Yudh. I think that
No,
was.
no, that wasn't the first time.
Okay,
Okay.
maybe.
When was the first time? Monisha, would you like to answer?
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Okay. I will not ask Kalpesh, Randhir and Abhijit because they are from our, they have already done chapter 1 with us. So I will ask Manish ji. Any?
No,
Would you like to
I'm not
comment?
aware.
No? Okay.
Sorry.
Ritambhara Mataji, would you like to say? When?
Yes, I am not sure whether I'm right or wrong, but I
That's
will
fine.
say
That's fine. You
what,
can share.
what I
Yes.
know about this topic. So I think they came in front of each other first time in the Battle of Mahabharat, and but that the victory always was, it was always destined wherever the Krishna is there, so the victory will be there. So
Okay.
that's the reason Arjun victory. But anytime, I mean, according to everybody, that even Krishna knew that the Karna is better warrior than Arjun. But because Krishna was in the side of Arjun, so
No, even when Krishna was not there with Arjun, that's the
Can
time
I
we are
give a
talking
clue,
about.
sir?
yeah, the circumstances, because the dharma and all that, because then Krishna says, oh, you forgot your dharma when the Draupadi and you did all that things to Draupadi, and now you are, then Arjuna says that, when his wheel got stuck in the mud, and he says,
No, that is in the Mahabharat war.
Later.
Before Mahabharat war, first time.
before Mahabharat war, I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
Prabhuji, can I say something?
Who's that?
Haridya.
Haridya, can you please show me yourself? I haven't ever seen you.
Yes, sure.
Yes, good. Yes. Yes.
I,
Yeah, now
I
you
think
can talk. Yes.
I think they fought before Kurukshetra when there was a Swayamvar of Draupadi.
Correct. That was in the disguise. So it was not known to Karna, but you can keep your video on, Haridaya. That's fine.
Yes.
I mean, not just to answer, even to
Okay.
listen. It's nice to have and see people. Otherwise, I feel I'm speaking to a wall.
Thank you.
Okay, so they came as a face-off at the Draupadi Swayamvar where Arjun was disguised as a
Brahman.
Brahman. Karna did not know that he is Arjun. And then Arjun defeated him. Why was there a face-off? Why did they fight?
Because they were the only two left.
No. No. Okay, so Draupadi Swayamvar, nobody could do the target which was given to them. They were supposed to pick up the bow and arrow, and they were supposed to hit the eye of the fish, looking into the reflection of that. So nobody could do that except Arjun. As a Brahman, he did that. So all the Kshatriyas there got ferocious. They got very angry that it's an insult to all the Kshatriyas. The Brahman is doing all this in front of us and we couldn't do it, or whatever. They were saying, Drupad, the father of Draupadi, that you have insulted us. And for that they wanted to fight, and that's where Arjun and Karna, they came face off with each other, and Arjun defeated him.
But
It was the first time they came. Sorry?
Did they fight at that time?
Yes.
I don't believe
Yes. No,
that.
they fought with each other.
Okay.
They fought with each other, and that's a time where Karna said that I cannot believe that someone can handle all my weapons. You must be a demigod or a god to fight me. And he asked his identification. That's in the Mahabharata, in the Parva. So Karna asks identification of Arjun as to who are you. At that time, Arjun did not say that I am a Brahman or anything. He just said I am the disciple of my guru. That's all. And he went. So that was the first face off, indirectly, not knowing that he was Arjun. What was the second time they fought with each other? Okay, I'll go around again asking everyone. Vikas ji,
Was it again during Mahabharata?
No, I don't know. Sorry.
no problem. Naisha,
No, I don't know. Sorry. Virat.
no, that was not the second time.
Okay, that is it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
There must be the this thing that during the
Okay, so when they lost the gambling match,
Oh yes.
they were sent to the jungle. Okay, and they were staying at a place in jungle, in the forest. Now, because Duryodhan won the gambling match and he had all the money, he wanted to show it off. So what he did was that he set up his own tent across the river where Pandavas were staying in their hut. He set up a tent there along with Karna and his brothers. And he was having party time there. So he was having, all sorts of dances and, liquor and, all those kind of things he was doing there. So that the Pandavas can see and, see their defeat. They have been defeated. So at that time, what happened was Duryodhan actually misbehaved with one of the Gandharva girls who was there in that forest. And that Gandharva girl went to her own folks and she got all the Gandharvas, and the Gandharvas attacked Duryodhan and all his soldiers and all his brothers there. And they defeated them. Defeated in such a way that they actually made them prisoners and they tied them up. And looking at that, while all this was happening, Karna and his other brothers of Duryodhan, they ran away. And it was only Duryodhan who was captured by the Gandharvas and tied and kept hostage. And because the soldiers knew that across the river the Pandavas are there, the soldiers ran and informed Yudhishthir that so and so has happened and please help us. And Yudhishthir was convinced that yes, we should help them. And he spoke to Arjun and Bhima, saying that you should go and help our brothers. At that, Bhima said that at last destiny has favored us. What we wanted, it has happened automatically. Let him die. At that, Yudhishthir, who is also a Dharmaraj, he said a very nice statement. It's mentioned in Mahabharata that in front of the others, that is in front of the whole world, we are not 5, we are 105. Among each other, we may have a lot of conflicts within the family. But when it comes to the external world, we are one family. We are Kuru dynasty. That's how Yudhishthir's thought process was. It's Dharmaraj. So based on that, he said, you go and fight. But Bhima was adamant. He didn't want it to go. On that, Yudhishthir gave a very nice statement to convince Bhima. He said, Bhima, what greater joy will you get to give your mercy upon your enemy, which is Duryodhan. Go and save him and show your mercy to him. Wouldn't that give you joy? So Bhima said yes, and he agreed. So Bhima and Arjun went there, but Arjuna single-handedly, he defeated all the Gandharvas. And these Gandharvas are the same Gandharvas who were in the heaven when Arjun went later to receive the weapons. He taught his martial arts to Gandharvas, and Gandharvas, who are known for their artistic behavior in music and dance, they taught him how to dance to Arjun, which he used in his 13th year of anonymity, Agyatavas, as a dance teacher when he went to Virat. So that was the second time when Arjun defeated Gandharvas, and Gandharvas defeated Karna. So that made Arjun a better warrior than Karna. That was the second time. And Virat Yuddha, I think everybody knows now, the Virat Yuddha. So in Virat Yuddha, so that was just before the Mahabharata war. So looking at all the pastimes, you see, always Arjuna was better than Karna. Even when Krishna was not with him, he was a better warrior than Karna. Okay? Yes. Manish.
So, but there's also a story where Kunti Mataji went to Karna and asked for some favor before the fight.
Before the fight. Favor?
Before Mahabharata.
Okay.
Like before Karna was about to fight. And there's a story that he used to he never used to say no to anyone asking something. And as the first thing in the morning, he was giving prayers to Surya Devta, and Kunti Mata went and she asked that you should not kill Arjuna or something like that.
That was Krishna who went to Karna before the war.
So why was that if he was not that powerful?
Yeah. So he was powerful. No doubt he was powerful. But he never defeated Arjun previously. His credentials were not such. So no doubt he was an extremely great warrior. But never a time he had defeated Arjun. So the reason why, what happened in Mahabharata Yuddha, that when he got his chariot wheel stuck in the mud, at that time, when it is said that Arjun killed Karna, by immoral ways, it is not completely correct. He could have defeated Karna even by moral ways. And that killing of Karna was not immoral as well. So at that time, when Karna got his chariot wheel stuck in the mud, he said to Arjun that do not entertain the thoughts in your mind. He said to Arjun, Karna said to Arjun, do not entertain the thoughts of a coward into your mind of killing me. Be moral and follow the dharma. At that point, so Arjun took his bow and arrow down and he waited till Karna came out and fought with him. At that time, Krishna spoke. He said, "Oh Karna, now you are talking about morality. Where was this morality when you requested Duryodhan in the court at the gambling match when the Pandavas lost? He was the one who requested Duryodhan and Dushasan to, he instigated them to go and bring Draupadi. Said, where was your morality when you did this? Where was your morality when you helped them in the gambling match, which was a kind of a fixture? where was your morality when you ran away, when the Gandharvas, they attacked Duryodhan? Where was your morality when you, along with 5 other warriors, came and killed a 16-year-old Abhimanyu? If all that was morality, then killing of Arjun in your current state is also morality. So it was not that, the reason why I'm giving all this background is because it was not that Arjun could not fight with Karna and defeat him. He could always do that. He was a better warrior than Karna. But this is how he killed him, because Krishna asked him to do that. And the reason why he asked him to do that, to prove a statement which is called Shatoshatyam. That with the immoral, you cannot be moral. With the cunning, you have to be cunning. He wanted to prove that statement. And we also discussed this last time about, in the history also we have seen that, with the Mughals and other invaders of India, they had been immoral. And as the fighters from India have been trying to be moral, and they have lost the battle. But this doesn't mean that you follow immoral. It is that when your enemy is cunning, you cannot be thinking about all the correct dharma and putting all the checklist in place. So this is the statement Krishna is making. So when such things happen, you have to treat that event in that way. And that's why he told Arjun to kill Karna while he was lifting that chariot wheel. So when this was when Draupadi's disrobing was happening, at that time Vikarna was one. Vikarna was the brother of Duryodhan. He was the only brother of Duryodhan who came forward and said that this should not happen. Now, the reason why I'm coming to this point is because if you see Shatoshatyam, like I gave the example of Mughals, throwing all the meat, cow meat into the river, and because of that, the Hindus will not drink that water across the river, and they will starve and they will become weak, and the Mughals will go and attack them. This used to happen. The reason why I say this is because Kshatriyas were allowed at that point to eat meat also. But it was also said in Shastras that when the Kshatriyas are under the influence of meat eating, too much meat eating, intoxication, womanizing, or gambling, if they are under too much influence of that, at that time, their decisions or their activities should be neglected, because they are not under the proper influence. They're under the wrong influence. And the same point was raised by Vikarna at the time when Draupadi was disrobed. And everyone questions that Yudhishthir did a huge, what we call a crime, basically, of gambling his own wife. And that is exactly what Vikarna said, that under the influence of gambling, the person doesn't remain in his senses. Under the influence of alcohol, he doesn't remain in his senses. So that's what can happen with a Kshatriya. Under that influence, if he's taking that decision, that should not be considered. And that is written in the Shastras. So that reference was given by Vikarna, that whatever has happened, but this was under the influence of gambling. So Yudhishthir Maharaj should be given all his kingdom back, and also Draupadi and his brothers. But at that, Karna opposed Vikarna. He said, no, that is not dharma. Whatever is lost is lost. So Karna did not have a great past in terms of this. And why was Karna like that? Karna, although being he was known as Danavir, he was a very virtuous person. He would give anything to anyone. If someone came to him during the sunrise while he was doing Surya Puja. In fact, Indra came to him asking for his Kavacha and Kundala. He gave it away to him. And in return, Indra gave him the Indrastra. And that Indrastra was the powerful weapon he wanted to use against Arjun. But the point is that why Karna became a wise person. We had discussed vice and virtue in our previous discussions. But why did Karna became a wise person, though he was very virtuous, a Danavir person, a very good quality person? Why did he become like that? Anyone?
Kusangat, being with wrong people.
Who's that?
Vikas.
Because I can't see you. It's
Yeah,
a perfect answer. It's a very good answer. Perfect. Absolutely right. Spot on. So he was under in a bad association of Duryodhana. And this is what normally is seen, that you may not be having a bad character or having vicious mindset, but if you are in a bad influence, just to be with that company, just to be in that association, just to remain in that, just of not being neglected from the group, you accept that. You may crack some kind of a joke which may not be liked by you, but just to remain in that group, you may be saying such things which you may not like, or may not be relating to your nature, against your nature. You may be doing such things just to be in that. And Karna was indebted by Duryodhana because he gave him a kingdom. He gave him a Kshatriya, that too from a temporary acquisition. He did not have his own kingdom to give it away to Karna. So based on that, that indebtedness Karna was associating with Duryodhana, and he acquired the vicious mindset and the bad qualities, which made him. So Karna's character is mix of both, a very very strong warrior, but very sad ending of that person because of the bad association. Yes, Manish ji.
So
Sorry, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So did Karna know that he's son of Kunti, and
Yes.
did he so maybe that also contributed to his resentment.
So at the time when, just before the war, Krishna went to him after he had lost his Kundal and Kavacha. Krishna and Kunti had visited Karna, explaining him that this time is still not lost. To give you the identification, you are a Pandava yourself. You are the eldest son of Kunti, though the direct son of, not the direct son of Pandu, although they were not also the direct sons of Pandu. They were also sons of different demigods. Arjun was the son of Indra. Karna was the son of Surya. Yudhishthir was the son of Dharmaraj or the Yamaraj. And then we had Bhima, who was the son of Vayu, Pavana. So when he was told that his answer was that I know that I will be killed in this war. He knew it. Krishna explained him that you know that you will be killed because you have already lost so many times with Arjun. It's not that we are asking you to join so that they will, but why do you want to be on the adharmic side? Why don't you want to be on the dharmic side and die? You are going to die any which ways. But on that, Karna said that I'm indebted by friendship of Duryodhana. I cannot let it go. I cannot change sides now. So he was also attached to Duryodhan for his friendship. So it's not that somebody helps us and we should not be returning our help back. We should be doing that, but not up to the extent of being attached and doing immorality if that person is immoral, and joining our hands with that person in immoral things. But that was the wrong decision taken by Karna. And on that, Krishna said that Vinasha Kale Viparita Buddhi. So Karna, even being a very strong warrior, a great warrior, but with bad association and incorrect knowledge, he had a very sad ending. So that character is very, strong as well as very sad character of Mahabharata. Yes, Karan.
Prabhuji, did Karan had Indradhanush when he died, or he already
Indrastra.
Indrastra?
So Indrastra, I'll give you the background of that also. So Indrastra, he had kept that Indrastra to use against Arjun, to kill Arjun. But Krishna, what he did was, he introduced, so okay, let me give you a background. So there were different senapatis or commander-in-chiefs in Kaurava's army in various days, in different days. So the Mahabharata was fought for 18 days. Okay, 18 days the whole war went on for. So the first 10 days, Bhishma was the commander-in-chief. For the next 5 days, it was Dronacharya who was the commander-in-chief. So 15 days. 16th and 17th day, Karna was the commander-in-chief, only for 2 days. And one day was Shalya, the last one. And the last night was Ashwathama. He was a self-appointed commander. But no, I mean, Duryodhana had appointed him, but he took a self-appointed decision of killing all the Pandavas at night. And that time Kripacharya also accompanied him. But that's a different thing. We will not go there. So this is the bifurcation of different commander-in-chiefs over the 18 days. So when Karna was the commander-in-chief, because that's the time he came into the battle, 16th and 17th day, and he had the Indrastra. Krishna knew that he will be using that to kill Arjun. And Arjun did not have a retaliation for that one. He did not have a retaliating astra for that one. He would have been defeated. But Krishna introduced Ghatotkach at that time. You know who's Ghatotkach? Ghatotkach was the son of Bhima. Bhima and Hidimba. Hidimba was a Rakshasi, was a wife he met in the forest. So Bhima and Hidimba's son was Ghatotkach. And he was a fearsome warrior, undefeatable. Nobody could kill him. He created havoc in the 16th and 17th day. And that's the time he was introduced when Karna came in. For 2 days, he just killed everyone, slaughtered everyone. And Duryodhan pressurized Karna to use his Indrastra against Ghatotkach. That's how his Indrastra was destroyed. That was Krishna's plan. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so you understood the character of Karna? Everyone? Any more questions on Karna? Or comments?
I just had a question.
Yes.
You said that Karna was not happy, I think, in the last session, that he was not made the commander-in-chief initially.
Yes.
Because he had not proved his credentials in front of Arjuna.
What happened was, so during the time when all the analysis was going on as to who will be what in the soldiers and what ranking will be given to whom, at that time, Bhishma gave a very lower ranking to Karna. And that made Karna furious. And he said, I'm an equivalent warrior, in fact, better warrior than Arjun.
Then
At
what?
that, Bhishma said that you have not proven yourself. Your past credentials are not good enough. So he gave all the series of face-off with Arjun which he had in the previous past, which I already discussed with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he gave all that thing, and he said, never ever was a time, and you are never. And in fact, you ran away when Gandharvas attacked Duryodhan. So that is the reason I'm ranking you so low, and that made Karna furious. But Duryodhan, you see, Duryodhan was a very diplomatic person. He was a proper politician. He would just use his resources the way he wants it. He wouldn't worry about friendship or all those kind of things. What he was thinking is that if Karna decided not to fight till Bhishma was there, because he was furious with Bhishma, because he ranked him low. Now, Duryodhan wanted both. He wanted Bhishma as well as Karna. But now, whom to choose? That's the kind of thing was going on under Duryodhan's mind, in Duryodhan's mind. So Duryodhan said that if I take Karna now and ignore Bhishma, and if I appoint Karna, then Bhishma, he may not join me at all because he'll be very upset. He'll on loggerheads with me because he's a very senior and he's my grandfather. He can just say, no, I will not fight if you don't make me there. But Karna is indebted. He will do whatever I'll tell him. He understood the mentality of Karna. So he agreed with he agreed with Karna of not letting him fight. He did not pressurize him. In fact, he went ahead and told him that as soon as Bhishma, I don't have Bhishma, I will appoint you as the commander-in-chief. You see? So this is the kind of, he played that trick, with Karna. He said, I want you to be the commander-in-chief. You should not be playing on the lower rank. Because Bhishma is putting you on lower rank, it's better you stay. That's fine. But you should be only my commander-in-chief. You should not be coming as a soldier. So he played two games and he took Bhishma as the commander-in-chief and backup as Karna. So he always wanted Karna to use later. Very diplomatic, as Duryodhan was.
Yes.
Did I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
Prabhuji, but Bhishma didn't die the whole war.
Who's speaking? Sorry,
Karan.
sorry. Yes, Karna. Sorry. Yeah.
Bhishma was alive the whole 18 days of war.
Yes, but he was injured after the 10th day. So after the 10th day, the scenario was such that he was undefeatable. So nobody could fight against Bhishma. And Krishna, again, he came up with an idea saying that, let's put Shikhandi to fight against him. And Shikhandi is the reincarnation of Amba. Amba, Ambika, Ambalika. So Amba reincarnated. Amba was furious with Bhishma in her previous life because he picked her up from her father's side and brought her here only to understand that Amba loved someone else. He wanted her to marry Vichitravir, but she loved some other prince. And after he brought her here, she revealed that she loved someone else, and Bhishma took her back to that prince, and he didn't accept her because he said, you're already someone else's now. So then, now she was in between, neither here, neither there. She approached Bhishma that you marry me because you have actually abducted me and taken me here. Now, Vichitravir will also not accept me, neither that prince will accept me because he knows that I have a previous affair. So now who will accept me? You have to marry me because you have done that. See, I can't marry because I have my own oath. And she considered him as the culprit. And she died and she reincarnated to take a revenge from Bhishma. And that's what Krishna used against her, against Bhishma. So he made him stand in front of Bhishma. And behind that, Arjun started shooting arrows at Bhishma. And this was not just Krishna's idea. Actually, Bhishma just said one statement, which is in the Mahabharata. He said to Arjun, calling him in the chamber the previous night, said that, I don't raise my weapons on women. Okay, and even on the women, even on the men who were women in their last birth. Okay, so that he went and said this to Krishna. He understood, and the next morning it was Shikhandi fighting against him. Okay, so he gave the idea actually. Did I answer your question, Karan? So this is how he was, but defeated but not killed. He was on the arrows. He was sleeping on the arrows. All the arrows which he had, but he was unable to fight because it's called what is that? The Shaya which he was on, it was made up of arrows through his body. Any more questions or comments? Okay, so we'll do one more verse for another 5-10 minutes. You'll understand that. But before that, just one more thing on this verse, which was Ashwathama Vikarnascha. So these are all big warriors. Dronacharya, Bhishma, Karna, Kripascha. Kripacharya was another warrior. Very, very, fearsome warrior. Nobody could defeat him. It's not that defeating is one not thing. He would never die. That was the boon he had got. The boon with Kripacharya was he will never die. So he was the one who was alive till the end of the battle. He didn't die at all. The last night, he was there with Ashwathama when he went and killed all the sons of Pandavas. Samitinjaha, they're all big warriors. Ashwathama Vikarnascha. Now, Vikarna was not that great warrior. Vikarna was the brother of Duryodhan, but he was not a great warrior, not a Maharathi. And everyone knows who's Maharathi now, right? Yes, Naisha, who's a Maharathi? I gave that table last time. Anyone?
Equal to 12 Athirathis.
Very good.
Yeah.
And Athirathi is equal to?
12.
Rathis, 12.
12 Rathis. 12 Rathis. So 12 into 12, 144 Rathis is equal to 1 Maharathi. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 Maharathi can fight 144 roughly. Now, so Vikarna was not a Maharathi. He was a very, average soldier. But he's taking his name. Why? Anyone?
Maybe because he was on the right side of Dharma.
Because he had raised a question at the court against Duryodhan. So he did not want him to go against him further. That's why he's considering, taking his name so that he hears it. And he feels that I'm being recognized. Recognition or that fame is something which inspires many people. Even if you do a very little thing and someone comes and tells you you're done great or inspires you, you will be motivated with that and you'll be attracted to that person. So that's another, political or diplomatic style of Duryodhan. Okay. Do you want me to do another verse or should we do that next time? 2.9?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
Okay.
If
So we'll do
everybody's
5
okay.
minutes more. Yeah. Is everyone okay to do one more verse? Okay. Please repeat after me. So this is 1.9. Anye cha bahavaha shrura
Annesha Bahava Shura
madarthe vyaktyakta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha सर्वे युद्ध विशारदाः
सर्वे
सर्वे
युद्धविशारदाः
युद्धविशारदाः
अन्ये च बहवः शूरा
अन्ये च
बहवः शूराः
मदर्थे व्यक्तजीविताः
मदरथे व्यक्तजीविताः
जीविताः
नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः
नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः
सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः
सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः
अन्ये च बहवः शूरा
अन्ये च बहवः शूराः
मदर्थे व्यक्तजीविताः
मदरथे व्यक्तजीविताः
नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः
नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः
सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः
सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः
अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः. So says there are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. This is Duryodhan telling Drona. So he is explaining that there are so many other warriors apart from the ones which I have already named a few. There are others who are ready to slay or lay their lives for my sake. They have to give up their lives for my sake. And the word for that one is that people are ready to give up their lives for me. The word is Tyakta Jivitaha. That's a Sanskrit word. Tyakta Jivitaha. Tyakta Jivitaha means the ones who are ready to give their lives. Now, he is saying that Tyakta Jivitaha. So, Tyakta Jivita, Tyakta Devitaha. So, the word has two meanings actually. The word says that the ones who are ready to give up their lives for me, and it also means that the ones who have already given their lives for me, already sacrificed their lives for me. So the commentators explain very nicely that Saraswati, who is the goddess of knowledge, she is actually making him say that because they are on my side, they are already dead. Tyakta Jivitaha. They have already given their lives up. So that is one of the meanings. So Sanskrit is known for multivalence of words. Anyone knows what are multivalence words? Multivalence words are words which have different meanings, same word having different meaning in different contexts. That's multivalence. So you'll find many words. We'll further go in Bhagavad Gita. We will point those words as multivalence. So those words, one of the words is Tyakta Jivitaha. It has two meanings. So a person who is hearing will understand this. Now, who is speaking to whom? Duryodhan speaking to Dronacharya. But who is doing the commentary? Anyone? Of this whole thing, of the whole war? Sanjay telling Dhritarashtra. Now, what would Dhritarashtra understand what Sanjay says? Or what he understands? It depends on the context they are thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tyakta Jivitaha would be the same word. Duryodhan may be thinking something. Bhishma may be thinking something. Drona may be thinking something. And others may be thinking something. Sanjay may be thinking something. And Dhritarashtra may be thinking something. So many different people. What will be the perception of theirs? It's up to them completely. But it has two meanings. So that is the multivalence of the words. We'll stop our discussion here today. We'll continue with this verse next week, Sunday. But please read. And please read the introduction of this Bhagavad Gita. and also do a bit of manan on and thoughts on whatever we have discussed so far. It will make you understand the further verses better. Any questions or comments? Please ask me. No? Okay, so we'll end our discussion here. See you next Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Happy Janmashtami.
Happy Janmashtami. Absolutely. Sorry. Very sorry. This is a lockdown here. Completely forgot about everything. Yes. Happy Janmashtami to all of you.
Hare Krishna.
Please visit the temples if you can in your area, if it's available. Please visit the temples. Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.